Hello everybody, and welcome back to Wheel Trouble's Let's Play Abduction, Chapter 8. When we left off last time, we had just found this maze on a turntable, and we discovered a trolley system that we're going to have to unblock and use to get to the next path. And without further ado, let's go ahead and try to figure out what in the world to do here. Since we can go left and right using a crooked maze, let's go ahead and try to go straight first. And what seems to be the best way to do that? We could hang the right, leave this piece where it is, and if we rotate and switch the other two... Well, that's convenient. So this is how we have to switch things around. We get to teleport. Well, let's see at least where we teleport to and see what kind of pieces we're dealing with for this puzzle. And kind of like the last episode, this is going to involve a lot of teleportation. Into some very cramped quarters. What does this button do? We've rotated the panel. Let's explore a little bit before going back to Murray, shall we? Oh look, we can unblock that door. Well, this might come in handy later. We'll see. Wonder if I can fit through. Yay, just barely. And there was another path just past the rotation device, so let's explore that a little bit and see where that goes. Hooray for load screens. And another door we can unlock. Yay! Oh, and look, we've conveniently left this exactly where we need it to be to get to the other side. Let's just continue to explore. Squirrel! No, I didn't see a squirrel. That's just kind of what we're doing. We're abandoning one puzzle temporarily. There were, what, 100 people here, supposedly? I wonder how many of them are actual accomplished artists by this point. And what do we have? Another note. Let's see what this says. Please read thoroughly. We must have every detail in place. Our lives and our species depend on this being executed perfectly. We've read this before. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, this is identical to the page we already read. Well, let's try the seed pod device. Red? Not seen red before. This must be Soria. Mofang. We'll go with Mofang. Finally, a transition to a planet that wasn't painful. Here you go, everybody. Your new vacation hotspot. I think I kind of preferred it with the dome around it, where it gave it all those nice purples and blue hues. I can't imagine enjoying this place. we know the tree's going to be to the left, so let's see if we can get a better view of where we're at. See what's going on Earth. You know, since we can see outside the dome and all. That looks significantly more advanced than the mining town we're in. So they got teleported to a future version of Earth? Well, nothing to do now but jump into the tree. And since this is Mofang, it's natural that they wouldn't have had the laser device blocking them. After all, they were the aggressors in the war. We assume aggressors. In any case, they were on the other side. And this is the first tree we've gotten to go into that didn't have a loading screen with it. That's nice. And we're in a red universe. Spiral galaxy. Flare in the middle. See, we've got some blue here. Blue was what planet again? Was that Captar, I think? Yeah, Captar. Nothing. So that must be back to Murray. And that's got the garden hose, so that's Huntrath. Well, CW did say we needed to get power to all the trees, so here we go. Easy enough. Back upstairs and get out of this hellhole. Don't get me wrong, the red's pretty, but there's nothing here. It's a wasteland. Oh well, the Mofang call it home, right? Pretty cocky of them, too. When you think about the fact there's no guarding around here, no traps, no puzzles. I would love to know what the conflict was all about. And that just leaves one tree to connect. Hooray. Oh, this transition's taking forever. There is a lot more in Huntrath, though, so I suppose that makes sense. And back to the maze puzzle. Just charge back along here through the nice pretty creek. That we're apparently not allowed to swim in. Real shocking experience, all that. Sadly, I've forgotten completely where in the puzzle we are, so I need to get another view before I can really continue on with it. Let's go ahead and head back to Murray. And hooray for quick transitions. Time to see what kind of damage we've done here. What to do, what to do. I think I'm going to go ahead and try to link the path coming in from the right and head it in towards the middle. Yeah, that's what we'll do. So we need to turn it clockwise 2 more spaces. Back to Hunrath. It really is amazing how much faster the transitions are when you're going to a much smaller world space. Just something to keep in mind for you programmers out there. There is a such thing as biting off more than you should chew. Just because you can chew it doesn't mean you should. So, 2 spaces. That's 1. And 2. Now to head back and see what kind of damage we've done. Okay, back up the elevator. There was part of me that wanted to go ahead and just skip past all of this for you guys, but if I've got to go through the headache of the puzzle, so do you. After all, you're watching a Let's Play of a puzzle game, so what do you expect? So there will be spoilers. Enjoy. As if there weren't already. Okay, so we need to switch those 2 pieces that are on the left and the right and spin them 180 degrees. I wonder how this platter is going to work. Yes, I just called it a platter. It's a flat surface. It works. And if I do that, that would end up giving me a 90 degree. Yeah, because this space doesn't have an exit coming straight out of it. It's the only space that doesn't have an exit coming straight out of it. cute. Oh well, we can still keep pushing forward. And since I'm wanting to switch pieces, I'm going to leave this piece here. So we're going to use one of the pieces from the gauntlet puzzle to get back to Murray. Since we're spinning the platter, I'm going to leave that alone and see if it spins at the 180 degrees we need just by virtue of spinning the platter on its own. And here we are, back to the gauntlet room. I wonder if the maze is technically part of the gauntlet. Now back up to spin the big platter around. And a straight piece has taken the place of the one we sent back. They had one in hiding. Good to know. I guess that makes sense. They have to have somewhere for the return seed, right? Okay. Back to Hunrath to swap the other piece in. And it will swap in as we're leaving. The coordination of the paired seeds in this is amazing. And since we're just doing a swap, we're going to run back to the gauntlet again and take that exit. We're definitely getting a workout in this episode. Tons of running. And our molecules being scrambled across the galaxy. Oh, how convenient. It did spin the piece for us. time to get that other piece where we want it. So back to Hunrath to put the piece in place, teleport back and see what kind of damage we've still done. And remember, the goal is still to go straight, so we have to straighten out something in here. This puzzle is by far the longest puzzle in the entire game. It's not necessary that that it's hard, it's just that it takes a lot of running around and coordination of where you're going. And a lot of mental mapping. Okay, we still can't get in, so we have at least some rotation left to do. But at least this piece is doing what we need it to. Okay. So if we rotate this little angle piece here to the right, and then put the straight piece across the way, that'll get us straight across. Yeah, we'll do that. That way we can get our rotation going rather easily as well. So first things first, let's get this piece rotated. Well, we can get in. And it is going to the right, so success. Time to turn the table 180 degrees. And that should get the flat piece right in for us. And once the flat piece is in, we should be able to go straight across and undo that first gate. Give you guys a little more time with that puzzle. Sorry, guys. Just needed to think about something here really fast. I just wanted to take a look and see if this is going to do what I want it to later. Alright, now doglegs to the left. And the straight piece here would give us the 90-degree run. Okay. So rather than the straight piece, I can just turn this. And then I don't have to fight with that straight piece. Yeah, we'll do that instead. It's a good thing that the ambassador seed took a mining town. Because you imagine a bunch of normal people trying to dig all these caves would be a disaster. And we should be able to get across. Yep, sure did. This would be a single-digit panel. And that's the number 2. Just so you can see it and visualize it. Now, since we're going to get rid of this, here's the number 1, so you can see the skeleton. Now for the number 0, so we can actually pass through. And we need to find that other keypad to control that gate that was just behind this one. I'm betting that's going to be the right pathway, since the left pathway is the way to the rail system. It just seems to make more sense. Sorry guys, I'm having to think about this a little bit more. I'm going to rotate this panel into the straight panel on the one that was on the left. And I do apologize that this is turning into a rather long episode. It just doesn't feel right to leave this one in the middle of the puzzle. And again, I could have condensed it, but I figure you guys would like to be along for the ride. On the plus side, we did take care of a tree at least. Now to spin this around so we can get to the straight piece. And we need to spin this counterclockwise one. Back to Hunrath. For those of you keeping count, yes, this means that there are 5 mini-spheres inside the platter. 4 sitting inside Murray, and then 1 back on Hunrath. Could you imagine trying to do this with an entire army? They wanted to create friction, they certainly did it. I wonder what direction that straight piece is facing. Since the table on Hunrath only turns 90 degrees, if it's facing the right way, we'll be in luck. Of course it's not. So it doesn't matter if we hit the top button or the bottom button, it's a straight piece, so clockwise and counterclockwise end up with the same result. And rather than take the gauntlet back, it's very important that we take the sphere back. After all, this is the straight piece. And if you haven't done so already, I'd like your guys' opinion. Who do you think has the right theory going on? We have CW, who thinks he can use the trees to get us home. And then we have Carolyn, who seems to think that the seeds were sent to save us somehow. Leave a comment, send me an IM, don't really care which, just let me know what you think, and that will determine which ending we go with. The next chapter, Chapter 9, is going to be the last for this. That's sort of the thing about puzzle games. When you know what you're doing, it goes a lot faster. Okay, we've gotten this to the 90-degree point, and that's where we're going to leave off. I'm going to rotate this to where we can pick up straight away next time. Next time, the final chapter on Let's Play Obduction. Wheel Trouble out.